Hey everybody, it's the Kamookster, and today we're going to be talking about the third episode of Agatha All Along. The episode starts with everybody walking the Witch's Road, some of them in complete disbelief that it even exists. Sharon, formerly known as Mrs. Hartz, I'm going to start remembering the names, everybody, trust me. Sharon believes that they were kidnapped, and she tries to call for help, but realizes that there's no signal down in the Witch's Road. The witches put their brains together and realize that the Witch's Road is basically a series of trials that will actually test each of their individual talents and skills in order to make it to the end. However, with the washed up witches that Agatha picked up, skill seems to be in low supply. While they're wandering down the road, they get curious about Billy and ask him his name, which, just like in the first two episodes, he cannot say. He cannot disclose any information about him. And they figure out that this is called a sigil, which somebody placed on Billy because they didn't want information about him getting out there.
Sigil is a spell?
A sigil is a redaction spell that hides something. In this case, you, from witch folk.
Turns out that the only reason Agatha's keeping Billy around is because she believes that there could be something good or useful under the sigil and wants to break it later. As everyone's walking the road, Mrs. Hart wanders off and begins to sink into the ground. Turns out as soon as you step off the road, you just straight up die. So yeah, they pull her out and they continue on and come across this beach house. They realize it's the first trial of the road and they all head inside. It's pretty nice in there, and Billy says like something that, reminds everybody that he's gay.
It's giving middle-aged, second chance at love vibes, and I'm here for it.
They are given a spooky riddle that Mrs. Hart immediately gets because, she's like a woman over 50, so.
It's not supposed to hurt, I thought. Ooh-wee.
Billy and Jennifer,
The black one.
head off to get a corkscrew to unlock the bottles of wine, and here is where Jennifer tells Billy about Agatha's past, and apparently she traded her own son for the Darkhold. And after all these years of waiting and hoping and speculating, we get a mention of Mephisto for the first time in the MCU.
Others say he might be a demon or an agent of Mephisto.
He said it! He said it!
Whoa. Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo!
Jennifer basically tells Billy that he might be Agatha's son, which I kind of feel like is a red herring. I just know that Billy is Wanda's son. Like, why would they do the whole show for Billy not to be the son? Like, how does this like C-list character have any effect on like the MCU? Okay, we're getting Wicked. Okay, we're getting Young Avengers. That's about Agatha Harkness, who's like a Fantastic Four villain. Then this was a huge waste of time. So we're definitely introducing Billy to the MCU. We have to be. I mean, we did get the Mephisto reveal, so I mean, it wouldn't be a complete waste, but come on. The witches drink the wine and find out that it's been poisoned to make people look like Season 4's Starlight from The Boys. Yes, I'm filming this on a different day. They realize that Agatha didn't drink anything because she's completely symptomless, and they force her to drink some of the wine, sharing in their misery. Yo, misery loves company. You just remember that. The people that are like doing the worst in their lives, they're trying to drag you down with them, okay? Do not let them. The witches finally realize that this is Jennifer's trial as the potion maker, so she's supposed to brew an antidote before they all die of Botox. Due to the poison, the witches all start to hallucinate, and Alice Wu,
The Asian one.
sees her mom, who claims that all the women in her family are cursed. She commits sewer slide, and her hallucination is over. What did I say? Hallucination. Anyway, Jennifer basically, she gets drowned by this doctor guy who we're pretty sure is the one that stole her power to begin with. She snaps out of it and continues working on the antidote. The witches hunt for a bunch of ingredients to the antidote for the poison, and basically they have like these really complicated names. Like, here, let me just roll the clip.
Let's see what we're working with here. I need frankincense and the gut of a eusocial insect.
We'll handle that first part.
I need a corpse that's been decaying for at least 30 million years.
Is that something that's readily available? Because I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
These things sound like very complicated, but they're really just like household appliances. Like one is like facial cream, like gas, and honey. Like these are things that you probably have. They eventually get all the ingredients and put them in the sink, and something's off because they're missing an ingredient. Yep. And Jennifer can't seem to remember it. But she gets a quick pep talk from Agatha, and basically she remembers that it's the blood of someone that has not been affected by the poison. And that's Billy, because Billy is too young to drink wine, so they didn't actually let him take the poison to begin with. So yep, they use his blood and they find a cure and they give it to everybody. Except Mrs. Hart, who collapsed on the table earlier from her hallucination. Mrs. Hart is given the cure and they all escape from the flooding beach house through the oven for some reason. They make it back out onto the road and everyone is happy and alive. The end.
Sharon's dead.
Who's Sharon?
This was a pretty interesting episode, all things considered. I mean, we got the Mephisto reveal, we got some more context on like how Agatha got the Darkhold, like what her intentions might be. We got like some, hints that she might care about the other witches through her pep talk with Jennifer, and Mrs. Hart died. I'm hoping she's still alive. Like I'm just gonna say, just so if I get bragging rights for next week's episode, but Mrs. Hart's still alive. She's gonna come back. She's still alive. She's still alive. But I honestly like the low-key vibes of like the first few minutes of the episode, like how everyone was just chilling and drinking wine and talking, sharing about their histories. We got to learn about Alice's childhood, and we got some hints that Billy might have had a messed up childhood too, which, I mean, for all of us who watched WandaVision, yeah, he definitely did. We learned that Jennifer might have been drowned or something at some point, and that's how she lost her powers. We learned that Sharon is Mrs. Hart's real name for like the 40th time. She mentions it a lot. But yeah, this episode had like a really like slow burn mystery vibe to it. Like there was a sense of urgency with the ticking timer in the background of everything, and I think it was pretty decent. I can't wait to see what we have next, in the next coming episodes. I'm hoping we don't get let down, because I'd say we're in a pretty good place. And yeah, I'm definitely not covering the Penguin show. I don't have that much time on my hands these days. Nope. Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode. We'll cover another one next week, and we're going to try not to fall off like we did last year with Ahsoka. We kind of just like stopped covering that series because we got lazy. We're gonna try not to do that this time. We're gonna actually pull it off. Anyway, this is Kamookster signing off. I am the Kamookster. My forehead's big, my eyes are a little far apart, and I have a fat nose. I'll see you guys in the next one.
John chapter 15 verse 9. As the Father has loved me, so have I loved you. Abide in my love.
The blinds. If for some reason they wouldn't. Oh, hey, chill, bro, chill. Relax.